Have you ever heard of an entire army, 50,000 strong, just vanishing into thin air? It sounds like something out of a myth, but this is the real, baffling story of the Lost Legion of Crassus. Let's rewind to 53 BC. Rome is at the height of its power, a global superpower, and one of its most powerful men is Marcus Licinius Crassus. He's ridiculously wealthy, part of the first triumvirate with Julius Caesar and Pompey the Great. But while Caesar is conquering Gaul and Pompey has his own military glories, Crassus feels like he's missing out. He needs a big, splashy military victory to cement his legacy. So he sets his sights on the Parthian Empire, modern-day Iran. He assembles a massive force, 7 legions, around 50,000 of Rome's finest soldiers. He marched them east, confident of a quick and glorious victory. But the Parthians are a different kind of enemy. They're masters of the desert, famed for their horse archers who could shoot arrows with deadly accuracy while riding at full gallop, the legendary Parthian shot. The two armies meet near a dusty, forgotten town called Carrhae. The battle is a complete and utter disaster for the Romans. The Roman legions, with their heavy infantry tactics, are used to close-quarters combat. But on the vast, open plains, they are sitting ducks for the swift Parthian cavalry. The Parthians use a tactic that drives the Romans mad. They ride in, unleash a storm of arrows, and then ride away before the Romans can even get close. It's like trying to fight a ghost. The Romans are pinned down, dehydrated under the scorching sun, and demoralized. Crassus's own son, Publius, leads a brave but doomed cavalry charge and is killed. Seeing his son's head paraded on a spear shatters what's left of Roman morale. The battle turns into a massacre. Crassus himself is tricked into a fake truce meeting and is killed. Legend says the Parthians poured molten gold down his throat as a final, gruesome mockery of his infamous greed. Out of the 50,000 soldiers who marched into Parthia, 20,000 are killed, and another 10,000 are taken prisoner. This is where our mystery truly begins. The captured Roman legionaries were now slaves of the Parthian king. But these weren't just any slaves. They were highly trained, disciplined soldiers. The Parthians, being practical, decided to put their skills to use. Historical records from the Parthians themselves suggest these Roman prisoners were sent to the far eastern edge of their empire, to a frontier city called Merv in what is now Turkmenistan. Their job was to defend the border against raids from nomadic tribes. And for a while, that's where the story seems to end. They were Roman soldiers, now serving a new master thousands of miles from home. But then, a few decades later, a strange and tantalizing clue emerges from an even more distant land, China. In 36 BC, about 17 years after the disaster at Carrhae, the Chinese Han Dynasty is also expanding its influence westward. A Han general named Chen Tang is leading a campaign against the Xiongnu, a confederation of nomadic tribes who were a constant threat to China's borders. During a siege of a Xiongnu fortress near modern-day Uzbekistan, the Chinese soldiers encounter a very peculiar group of enemy fighters. The Chinese chronicles describe these warriors using a strange formation. They locked their shields together to form a protective wall, advancing like a solid block. The description is uncannily similar to the famous Roman testudo, or tortoise formation. The Chinese had never seen anything like it. They also mentioned the use of a double wooden palisade, another classic Roman military engineering technique. The Chinese were so impressed by these strange soldiers that after they captured them, They didn't just enslave or execute them. Instead, they settled them in a newly established town on China's western frontier, and they named this town Liqian. Now, here's the mind-blowing part. Liqian was the ancient Chinese name for the Roman Empire, or more specifically, for Alexandria in Egypt, which was the main entry point for Chinese trade with the Roman world. So the Chinese essentially named a town Rome and settled these mysterious foreign soldiers there. Could these really be the lost legionaries of Crassus? The timeline fits. They were captured in 53 BC, sent to the eastern Parthian frontier, and could have been captured again or hired as mercenaries by the Xiongnu, eventually ending up in a battle against the Han Chinese in 36 BC. It's a journey of thousands of miles across deserts and mountains, but it's not impossible. For decades, this was just a fascinating theory, championed by an Oxford professor named Homer Dubbs in the 1950s. But then, in the 1990s, the story took another turn. Modern residents of a village in the area, also called eerily, which is believed to be the site of ancient Liqian, started noticing some of them had distinctly non-Chinese features. We're talking about people with green or blue eyes, lighter hair, and taller noses. DNA testing was done. The results were tantalizing. Some of the villagers showed genetic markers that indicated European ancestry. The media went wild. Headlines screamed about a lost Roman legion discovered in China. Tourists flocked to the village, which even built a Roman-style pavilion to capitalize on its newfound fame. It was the perfect ending to a romantic historical mystery. But as with most things in history, the truth is a lot more complicated. More recent, larger-scale genetic studies have thrown cold water on the theory. While there is indeed some genetic diversity in the region, which is to be expected for an area that was a melting pot on the ancient Silk Road, there's no definitive, unique genetic link that points directly back to a group of Roman soldiers from the 1st century BC. The European DNA found could have come from many different groups who traveled the Silk Road over the centuries. And what about that fish scale formation? Critics argue that similar shield wall tactics have been developed independently by different cultures throughout history. It's not exclusively Roman, and the name Liqian, it could have just been a name for a town where goods from the Roman Empire were traded, not necessarily where Romans themselves lived. So where does that leave us? We have a genuine historical mystery, a huge group of Roman soldiers captured and sent east. We have a tantalizing Chinese account of strange soldiers with Roman-like tactics. And we have a modern village with whispers of Roman ancestry in their DNA. The evidence is not conclusive enough to say for certain that the villagers of eerily are the direct descendants of Crassus' Lost Legion. The romantic story of a Roman legion settling down in China and starting families might be just that, a story, but the alternative is almost as haunting. It means that 10,000 Roman soldiers were marched to the edge of the known world, and then nothing. They simply disappeared from the historical record, their fate unknown. Did they die defending the Parthian border? Did they assimilate and lose their Roman identity within a generation? Did they attempt a desperate, doomed journey home? We may never know for sure. The Lost Legion of Crassus remains one of history's most enduring and fascinating cold cases. It's a powerful reminder that even for the mightiest empires, the world is a vast and unforgiving place, where an entire army can be swallowed by the sands of time, leaving behind only questions and legends. What do you think happened to them? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the past, make sure to like and subscribe for more historical mysteries.